Hey everybody, what's up? This is the Conservative Pothead video blog, news of the day for May 28th, 2009. Let's check out what's going on in the news. We'll start with Nancy Pelosi, who's our wonderful Speaker of the House, and a story called Pelosi Appeals for China's Help on Climate Change. U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi urged Beijing on Thursday to cooperate on climate change, calling a safe environment a basic human right. Speaking of Beijing's elite Qinghao, I don't know if that's pronounced that way, University, Pelosi continued the theme of her 5-day China trip that combating global warming represents a new challenge that both governments must tackle jointly. We are all in this together, Pelosi told an audience of about 200 students and faculty who applauded enthusiastically throughout the 45-minute session. The impact of climate change is a tremendous risk to the security and well-being of our countries. Now, later on here, the AP story just states this as fact, when it's not in, if you research, it's not established fact among scientists, that the two countries are the biggest emitters of carbon gases. That may be true, but the whole sentence says the two countries are the biggest emitters of carbon gases that are causing warming temperatures. There are two schools of thought in science. One says we are causing global warming. The other says we aren't causing global warming. And there are some scientists say that over the last 10 years, the Earth has actually been cooling. And that is what the Earth does. It warms, it cools. Everybody needs to stop freaking out that we're all going to destroy the planet. We're not. We'll destroy the planet with nuclear weapons long before we have any problems with global warming. Anyway, towards the end, she said this. We have so much room for improvement, she said. Every aspect of our lives must be subjected to an inventory of how we are taking responsibility. Now, of course, the problem with that is if she means a self-inventory, like, what am I doing to help the planet? Am I not trashing the planet? Because nobody's for trashing the planet, obviously. You know, I don't celebrate Earth Day because I think Earth Day is stupid. Just don't trash the planet every day of the year. You don't need Earth Day or Earth Month or Awareness Month. Just don't do it. You know, if you're out walking or whatever, don't throw your shit in the street. All the other polluting crap, just try not to do it. If you have to do it, like your car or something, that's good because we're not destroying the planet. We'll be fine. But anyway, that's my little rant on global warming. And, but of course, if Nancy Pelosi is talking about the government taking an inventory of what people are doing for global warming, pardon my French, but that's bullshit. You have no right to tell me what I need to be doing in my own house. I don't care what it's about. I don't care if it has to do with global warming and Al Gore says we're all going to die if you can't root through my garbage and find out what I'm recycling. I don't care. Then we're all just going to have to die, aren't we? If Al Gore's right and we all die because you couldn't root through my garbage, that's just too damn bad. Because you're not going to. If I see somebody root through my garbage, I'm going to shoot them. That's all it is. Because they're trying to steal my identity. Self-defense. Trying to steal my identity and rob me, I'll shoot you in the head. So anyway, those of you who follow my blog, theconservativepothead.blogspot.com, know that I wrote a blog about the government maybe owning up to 69% of GM. Now it looks like it's going to be closer to 72.5%. Mortgage delinquencies and foreclosures rise to records. 1 in 8 homeowners are foreclosing or going delinquent on their mortgages. Treasury's sell-off of bonds is spiking interest rates. This dude, Rubini, says the U.S. economy may dip again next year. Nouriel Rubini, the famously glum economist who predicted the financial crisis, said that while the recession in the United States may well be over at the end of next year, another dip was still possible by the... Let me start over. The recession in the United States may well be over at the end of the year, another dip was still possible next year. I still expect that economic growth in the U.S. is going to be negative through quarter 4, and that we'll see positive growth in quarter 1. Rubini told Reuters in an interview on the sidelines of the Seoul Digital Forum. The U.S. recession is going to be a U-shaped, lasting roughly 24 months, he added. Compared to the current consensus that says we are practically at the end of the recession, my view is no, it's going to last another 6 to 9 months before it's over. Peter Schiff says we're nowhere close to being out. He also predicted the financial meltdown of the last couple of years. He says interest rates are going to go up because of, well, obviously because of all the money the Fed is printing and all the money we're spending. So inflation is going to go up. This guy, investor Mark Faber, says the U.S. economy will enter hyperinflation approaching the levels of Zimbabwe because the Federal Reserve will be reluctant to raise interest rates. Prices may increase at rates close to Zimbabwe's gains, Faber said in an interview with Bloomberg Television. Zimbabwe's inflation rate reached 231% in July, the last annual rate published by the Statistics Office. 231%. Is that even a real percentage? I don't know. I'll look that up, and I'll get back to you in the next video. He said, I'm 100% sure that the U.S. will go into hyperinflation. The problem with government debt growing so much is that when the time will come and the Fed should increase interest rates, they will be very reluctant to do so, and inflation will start to accelerate. Federal Reserve Bank President Philadelphia Bank President Charles Plosser said on May 21st inflation may rise to 2.5% in 2011. That exceeds the central bank officials' long-run preferred range of 1.7 to 2%, and contrasts with the concerns of some officials and economists that the economic slump may provoke broad decline in prices. Bottom line is, the more inflation goes up, the less your money is going to be worth. The less the dollar is going to be worth. The dollar's already tanking. So, I don't know. A lot of people say buy gold. If I had the money, I guess I would buy gold. But that, combined with, the North Korea nuclear weapon thing that I talked to death already, that's what's going on in the news. All the other stuff is, I don't know, filler, I guess. It's stuff we really need to be worried about. We need to worry about our economy collapsing and nuclear weapons for North Korea. By the way, I saw a story today from former Clinton's Secretary of Defense, William Cohen, who was a Republican in the Senate, but he was Clinton's Secretary of Defense in the 90s. He pointed out the fact that it's really silly right now to stop funding missile defense when North Korea is laying off missiles and Iran is building missiles. A lot of people say, we spent a lot of money and it hasn't worked that well. Well, there's been a lot of successful tests. You can go Google and look it up. A lot of successful tests for the missile defense system. And right now is when we need to plow ahead, because what else do we have, really? Unless we bomb North Korea, we're not going to stop them from making bombs. The only other thing we can do is protect ourselves and protect our allies in South Korea and Japan. Hillary Clinton said yesterday, if North Korea sees fit to attack South Korea or Japan, we will have to come to the aid of our allies. And I hope we do. If North Korea attacks South Korea or Japan, we are militarily responsible, especially for Japan. And we are allies with North Korea. We have been. If North Korea South Korea, we are allies with South Korea. If North Korea breaks the armistice of 1953, which we were a part of, we have to respond to that too, probably militarily, because you can't let things like that stand. Obama has already shown to a lot of countries that he is weak, and they're defying him at every turn. You want to go to smartgirlnation.com, look at a story called Student Driver. That's a story by me about how the world is defying Barack Obama because they see him as a weak person and a weak president. So that's it for today. News of the day for May 28th. I'm the Conservative Pothead Joe Clare. Check out my blog, conservativepodhead.blogspot.com. Until next time, peace out, hippies.